everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Core studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got a fun one for you, depending on what kind of decks you like to play. Secretly discussing commanders that will make your friends quit. Let's jump into them. So, first up, one that will surprise you, I am sure, Svella Ice Shaper. Again, an uncommon commander. Those are typically ones that opponents are like, oh, you're playing an uncommon commander. How quaint. And again, only 8 cents for this gem. Many players do not see the true potential of Svella, which is disgusting. A 2/4 Troll Warrior for 3 mana in Gruul. By paying 3, you tap and create a colorless snow artifact token named Icy Manalith. Would tap at 1 mana of any color, and by paying 8 mana in total, tap the top 4 cards of your library. Because a spell from on them up paying its mana cost, but the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. Basically with this one, well, you're going to be making a bunch of mana rocks in a way, which is really cool. So a commander that can make you a bunch of mana rocks, yeah, not all that efficiently, but still effectively, yeah, you can make your own mana sources. And by doing that, well, you can take advantage of them. You know, maybe by, well, making more. Like Seeker of Skybreak can help you untap Svella. Cool, and that's not going to make your opponent's rage quit, right? That's not going to do it, most likely. They would be like, oh my gosh, you've got 2 mana rocks? I'm done. I'm out of here. Or how about Vitalize? Again, can untap your Seeker of Skybreak as well as Svella, untap all creatures you control, and also all your mana dorks if you have those too. And all of a sudden, you've got a lot more mana rocks, a lot more mana to work with. And you can even get even more mana with Roxanne Starfall Savant. 4/3 Cat Druid for 5 mana in Gruul. Enters battlefield or attacks, create a tap colorless artifact token named Meteorite. When enters battlefield, pings any target for 2, and you can tap at 1 mana of any color. So again, even more mana rocks, and on top of that, when you tap an artifact token for mana at 1 mana of any type that token produced. So basically now you double up your value out of those mana rocks that you're making with this as well as your commander. But here's the thing that you can do that will obviously make your opponents rage quit. Well, you can just destroy all lands now. Because, yeah, here's the thing. You are no longer dependent upon lands at all. In fact, you just do not care. You have all the mana rocks in the world, and all of a sudden you cast, well, Boom's nice, destroying 1 land. You control 1 land you don't control, or Bust, destroy all lands. Yeah, just destroying all lands and going, hey, you know what? I've got all the mana left and you've got none. Yeah, there's definitely certain play groups out there that are 100% not okay with this. If you have a play group that you know you could pull this off on and they'd be fine with it, go for it. If not, do not. And don't just do it at your LGS. But Ruination, another example to destroy all non-basic lands. This is one you can more so be like, well, look, hey, if you played more basics, it'd be okay. Still not okay. Now, when it comes to this commander, obviously there's a lot of different paths you can go for, but hey, yeah, mass land destruction, I've got all the mana I need. I also Vandal Blast your artifacts away too, so only mine are the ones that are in play. Yeah, I've got all the mana, you've got none of the mana, and now I just cast a Myojin of Infinite Rage, because why not? 7/4 comes into play, the Divinity counter on it if you cast from your hand, it's got indestructible if it has that counter on it, or just remove that counter and all of a sudden destroy lanes when you need to. So yeah, again, one of the very few decks you can just throw this in and be like, yeah, I've got enough mana for that, and this makes sense for my strategy, and my opponents will most definitely rage quit. So we already talked about an uncommon commander and how opponents can very much sleep on those and be like, oh, haha, how quaint. And with this as well, being like an old school commander like Selenia, like, oh my goodness, 1997, wow, it says Summon Legend on it, how good can that be? 3/3, Angel, I believe, for 5 mana in Orzhov. I think it's actually a Phyrexian Angel. Anyways, Selenia Dark Angel counts as Angel. Cool. Again, this is such old school templating that it has that. Flying. Oh, and it only just has pay 2 life, bounce it back to its owner's hand. It's a 3/3 that literally is a flyer, and it just can bounce to its owner's hand. That's all it does. Building around it, your opponents might be like, well, why would you ever build that? And here's the thing. It's so much fun. It is an excruciating amount of pain for your opponents once things end up happening, but it is so much fun for you. Here's the thing that can make your opponents rage quit. A very effective strategy around this commander is literally just wiping the board again and again and again and again. And I learned a long time ago in Commander that opponents don't really like that necessarily. And they might not just exactly tell you because they're trying to be nice to you because you're a newer player and you're like, I don't know why, but every single time I do this, even though it works for my strategy, my opponents don't seem too happy. Yeah, destroy all creatures that can't be regenerated. Wrath of God, obviously the OG for 4 mana. Just blowing everything up again and again and again. yeah, that's going to be a recipe for success for your deck because you just want to keep the board clear. Fumigate. Cool. All right, destroy creatures. You gain 1 life for each creature destroyed this way. Awesome. You can do that too. Yeah, there's just plenty of different rats out there that you can really take advantage of, obviously. A lot of effective ones. This one can pad your life total. When it comes to life, though, you don't exactly want to pad it because at one point, once it is, safe to do so after you've cleared the board enough and you're like, okay, I feel comfortable using my strategy now because I actually have just wiped the board. My opponents have, no cards in hand because they keep wasting things and I keep destroying them. And now I'm going to play near-death experience. And beginning of my upkeep, if I have exactly 1 life, I win the game. It's risky to play, absolutely. That's why you want the board clear. So yeah, you get your commander in play, you get this in play, and then you wait until your next turn's about to start, and you're like, okay, I'm in an odd number of life. Cool. I don't know, 39 or whatever. All right, I will bounce my commander back to my hand. But before that resolves, in response, I will do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, 19 times. So I lose 38 life in total. I go down to 1, my turn starts, and I win the game. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why this can be upsetting for your opponents. Winning with an alternative win condition can definitely make them rage quit. I mean, they're going to lose anyways to it. Blowing up the board over and over again can make them rage quit. And also, swapping their life total can make them rage quit as well. Axis Immortality, enchant for 6 mana. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may have 2 target players exchange life totals. Yeah, that's quite brutal, quite effective, quite amazing. I love it. Again, you could have the player over there that's like, I've been working so hard at keeping my life total at 40. Or again, another player like, I've been working so hard at drawing all the cards and gaining all the life, and I'm at 1,100 life. Cool, good for you. Doesn't matter. I'm at 1, and now we swap, and all that work that you did is for naught. So you are at 1, and I am at 1,000, or whatever it is. Or you just take everyone down to your level. Repay in kind. Again, it doesn't matter if that opponent's got 40 life, has 1,000 life, has 100,000 life, has 1,000,000 life. All of a sudden, you take yourself down to 1 or 2, or whatever it is, depending on if you're even or odds, and all of a sudden, everyone goes down to your level. Each player's life total becomes the lowest life total among all players. And then you play a simple card that drains everyone for 1, and then all of a sudden you win the game. There's a lot of reasons why Selenia Dark Angel can just be a rage quit type commander. Next up, Jon Irenicus Shattered One. Yeah, this is one where, again, there's definitely versions of it where you can build it where opponents are like, oh yeah, it's kind of cool, right? You're just giving away creatures and they're swinging and doing your dirty work for you. That's all right, that's interesting, cool. A 3/3 elf wizard for 4 mana in Dimir. Beginning of your end step, target opponent gains up to 1 target creature you control. Put 2 counters on it, tap it, it's good for the rest of the game and gains. This creature can't be sacrificed. Creature you own but don't control attacks, you draw a card. So yeah, giving your opponents creatures that can swing for you and that's a heavy hitter. It's going under your control now and it keeps swinging. Great, good for you. It has to swing. It's goated. Can't be sacrificed. It's getting bigger. And also, hey, when it attacks, I draw cards. Cool. I get a value engine. Here's the thing, though. Of course, there are certain strategies, too, where you're like, all right, I utilize things like Steel Golem. Yeah, that's brutal. 3/4 artifact creature for 3 mana. You can't cast, can't play summon or artifact creature spells. Basically, you can't cast creature spells, essentially. So all of a sudden, you're like, yeah, I just literally can't cast creatures. Okay. My deck's built around creatures. Oh, no. Yeah, an opponent having this literally can just shut them down in many ways and be very obnoxious, so that is definitely something you can utilize. That being said, it's nowhere near as brutal as Island Home, which used to be a keyword but no longer is, but I think they should bring it back. A 3/3 fish? Sure. For 3 mana in blue, it's got Island Home, which I believe has been errated and no longer is a keyword anyways. If the playing player controls no islands, this creature cannot attack. If you control no islands, you sacrifice this creature. Yeah, berry is changed to sacrifice. And it can't be blocked up by blue creatures. Cool. Anyways, here's the problem. This one literally says if you control no islands, you have to sacrifice it. But Jon Irenicus says, hey, this creature can't be sacrificed. So what you do, again, is you literally give this creature, you give the Manta Ray to an opponent, and it can't be sacrificed, but it must be sacrificed if they don't control an island. So all of a sudden, with that player that doesn't have an island, they get into an infinite loop of I can, I can't, I can, I can't, I have to, I can't, I have to, I can't. You just cannot do it at all. So literally just saying, you know what? It's not happening. The game just ends. There is no way to actually stop that loop if you want to, unless you've got, a way to actually, destroy the creature or whatnot. You have to be able to have some other way to stop this loop. But if your opponents don't have that, the game literally just ends in a draw. And that is perhaps the most frustrating thing of all time. And you might be thinking, well, okay, it's just manta ray. Oh, no. There's a lot of island home type creatures out there. There's even like one swamp home type creature, and then also there's other weird ones like Phylactery Lich. Cool. 5/5 zombie with indestructible. Enters the battlefield, put a Phylactery counter on artifact you control. When you control the opponent's Phylactery counters on them, sacrifice Phylactery Lich. This is one where literally, again, opponents could have islands. Sure. They could have swamps. Sure. There's no way they've got an artifact with a Phylactery counter on it. There is no way at all. Because, yeah, they would also have to be playing this exact same card, or they'd have to, I don't know, like, copy. No, they'd have to, like, steal, or I don't know. They're not going to have it. They're just not going to have it. Lurebound Scarecrow, a 4/4 Scarecrow for 3 mana. It comes into play, choose a color. When you control no permanents of the chosen color, sacrifice it. This one is literally an adjustable home. Again, it's like forest home, mountain home, kind of. It's not really a mountain or forest, but it's like, the color. Anyways. You pick the color that the opponent doesn't have, and then you give this to them, and all of a sudden, the game is over. So unless you're playing against 3 players that'll have 5-color decks with every single color in play at the time, the game ends in a draw. So, yeah, Jon Irenicus, again, you can build it in a more fun way. You're like, okay, opponents, get these creatures, swing with them, do my dirty work, do my bidding. Or you can do, hey, everyone, well, hey, there's a problem because the game is over, and nobody wins. Ties are the worst. And finally, Kamahl, Fist of Krosa. Now, this is one that always surprises players, and one that I will argue is completely fair to do it in this way. Well, okay, in one of the ways. 4/3 Human Druid for 6 mana in green. Pay a green mana. Target land becomes a 1/1 creature until end of turn. Still a land. Pay 5 mana in green in total. Creature control get +2/+3 gain trample until end of turn. Here's the thing. This is one of those commanders that says, stop hitting yourself. You did this to yourself. You are the master of your own demise. So basically, what is happening with this one is, yes, you can build it where you say, all right, my own lands become, creatures, and they become massive, and I swing, and I win the game with that. And obviously, it's a good way to do it. But also, this can be the best board wipe deterrent of all time. And opponents might say that it's an unfair way to do it, but I disagree. So essentially, again, if a player is going to play a Wrath of God, I mean, you can be nice and give everyone a heads up about this ahead of time if you want to, or you can just punish the player and people learn from their mistakes. So yeah, if a player is going to play Wrath of God because they're like, well, I'm looking at your board, Mr. Kamahl player, and you've got a lot of big creatures over there, and I don't like it. So, well, I'm getting scared, and I'm going to play Wrath of God. You're like, okay, well, that's great. Good for you. I turn all of your lands into creatures. What? You can't do that. That's mass land destruction. No. You cast the destruction spell. I just facilitated your lands becoming creatures. That's on you. So yes, again, the more nice way is to threaten the opponent and say, like, I will do this if you cast that Wrath of God. So, you might want to go in that direction, but if you just want to go like the, punishment, you'll learn your mistakes through like the worst experience of Commander of your life when you lose all your lands because of your own Wrath of God spell, sure. That being said, holding your opponents hostage so they literally can never cast a Wrath spell is fun. But also, if you really want to, I mean, maybe you could just cast your own. Luckily, like, green doesn't have many of them. Time Bomb is one you could utilize. Artifact for 4 during your upkeep, put a time counter on Time Bomb by paying 1 tap. Sacrifice it. Time Bomb deals damage to each creature and each player, the amount of counters on it, basically. So, basically, you just need 1 counter on this, and you go, okay, yeah, I just 1 damage to all the creatures out there, and I just turned all your lands into creatures. So, there you go. Or, if you're not going to go the mass land destruction way, Angel's Trumpet, a card like this. Artifact for 3, attacking does not cause creatures to tap. Beginning of each turn, the end of each player's turn. There we go. Tap all untapped creatures they control that did not attack this turn. 1 damage to that player for each creature tapped this way. Basically a way to just shut down opponents' lands in a different way and also ping them too. Because, yeah, at the end of their turn, you're like, all right, yeah, before this triggers, hey, all your lands are creatures. Okay, did they attack? Well, they didn't have the opportunity to attack because they weren't creatures. Okay, cool. Well, tap them all, so you're shut down, and also you get pinged for each one of your lands. Good for me. So much fun. Of course, Bonus Reclamation is a great way to ensure that you've got a lot of mana on your opponent's turns as well. You are in green. Obviously, you've got the best ramp out there. Make sure that you get a lot of mana to utilize your Kamahl. Untap all of your lands at your end step, basically. Or, of course, Seedborn Muse. Again, untap all perms you control during each of the player's untap step. Obviously, an incredibly powerful card, a game changer in its own right, and yeah, a way to say, yeah, you're not casting a Wrath because I will turn all of your lands into creatures. And maybe that other player's lands too. Regardless, Kamahl, again, a commander that you might not associate with being incredibly, well, threatening, number one. Number two, disgusting as well. And yeah, you can do some absolutely disgusting, absolutely amazing things with this one. And with that, this episode is come to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.